The essential is invisible to the eyes. Signs he's the one even if the world can't see it. This is for the ones who feel deeply and see beyond the surface. There are men who shine like cities at night. Men whose charm is like neon. Bright, loud, impossible to miss. And then, there are the quiet ones. Not the richest, not the most handsome, not the ones who flood your feed or your fantasies, but perhaps the ones who arrive in silence and stay when the noise fades. One sees clearly only with the heart. Anything essential is invisible to the eyes. The little prince, you might ask yourself, is he the one? When the world keeps showing you glittering alternatives, it becomes harder to trust the invisible. He might not make your heart race in chaos, but he calms your soul. He might not bring fireworks, but he brings a fire that never goes out. You see, love is not the theater of passion alone. It's not the red carpet, the prize, the conquest. It's the invisible thread, the one that pulls to people across space, without words, without explanation, just presence. Not every love story is a storm. Some are gardens, quietly blooming. Sometimes, the man who's right for you is the one no one else would choose, because no one else saw what you saw. They don't feel what you feel. They weren't there for the small moments that made you trust his heart, not his image. The world will say, he doesn't earn enough. He's not tall. He's not exciting. He's not ambitious enough. But the world doesn't know how he looks at you when you feel unworthy, how he listens when you say nothing, how he holds space for your wildest dreams. The rose in The Little Prince was not perfect. She was demanding. She was vain. She had thorns. But she was his rose, the one he had watered, the one he had chosen, again and again. And that made all the difference. When something is yours in soul, it doesn't have to be spectacular in the eyes of others. It simply has to be felt, deeply, repeatedly, silently. There's a kind of man who doesn't chase crowds. He doesn't perform. He doesn't impress with flash. But when he's in the room, you feel safer than you ever did in any fairy tale. You see, true connection doesn't always roar. It whispers, in synchronicities too precise to ignore, in timing too perfect to be random, in conversations that mirror your own questions, in laughter that feels like home. If you're unsure about him, ask yourself this. Do you feel more you when he's round? Do you feel like your weirdest, rawest truths are safe with him? Does your body relax in his presence, even when your mind races? Does he see you, the parts you hide from the world, and still choose you? Because love, real love, isn't only made of dreams. It's made of decision, and some decisions are not made with the eyes, but with the intuition only your soul can hear. The essential is not in the paycheck, not in the looks, not in the trophies or followers. The essential is in the consistency, in how he shows up when it's hard, in how he sees the invisible parts of you and doesn't flinch. He might not be ideal, but he might be true. And true is rare. True doesn't fade. True doesn't try to be perfect. It just stays. You don't need someone who has it all. You need someone who helps you remember that you already are it all. He might be overlooked by others, but maybe that's the point. He was never meant to be everyone's. He was meant to be yours. The dessert taught the little prince something we often forget. What makes something beautiful is the time we've given it, the silence it carries, the memories it holds. You'll know he's the one when love stops being a question and becomes a quiet, unwavering answer. Not loud, but always there. You'll know when the world tries to sell you shinier things, but your heart stays loyal to something it can't explain. Because it's not the eyes that recognize the beloved, it's the soul. So if you found someone who's not perfect, but feels true, someone who shows up in the smallest ways, who remembers what matters, who sees your soul before your body look again, you might be standing next to your rose, and the world may never understand. But love doesn't ask the world to understand. It only asks you to see with the heart. For more stories that feed your heart and soul, subscribe.